Yeah. Hi, Ann.
Hi Hari, how are you
Hi,
doing?
Ann. Hi, Konda.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Hi,
hi, Ann.
Hari,
How
and
are, how are you, Ann?
I'm doing very well. How are both of you doing?
Fantastic, Ann.
Thank you for
Hi,
having me
everyone.
here.
Yeah. So, hi, everyone. Good evening. It's a very good Sunday. It's a long weekend everybody had. Today, for our discussion, we have Annie Davis, who is an seasoned sales professional or the consultant who had a wide experience for close to 21 years in the area of sales consulting, business development, relationship management, and worked in multiple geographical markets basically. And today we have Anne specially to discuss more about sales strategies for general businesses, and also how small and medium businesses can able to acquire the corporate customers and retain the customers and grow their business. So let's get on to the session and get more insights from Anne, and putting forward a lot of questions with Anne. So welcome, Anne, once again.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah. Yeah. So before getting into the session, even I want to give a quick intro about why we started this series of session with the business professionals also. I'm Hari. I'm from Team SMB Card, and we have Konda Reddy also. He's also from Team SMBcard.com. Basically, SMBcard.com is an automated e-commerce platform for small and medium business, where they can able to launch their online store or an e-commerce store in less than 30 minutes. Okay. For that, they no need to record any technical knowledge. All they need to have is to know to operate their Facebook, Instagram, or Gmail. That's it. Okay. It's very simple to use for any small and medium business owners. And also, we are in pandemic. We got hit two different waves. Now we are heading towards the third wave, and we are living also. And if you really feel you want to take your business online and want to grow your customers, SMB Cart is a right platform for you. Okay. So with this, we can get on to the session. And thank you. Thanks for joining us today.
It's
And
my
so
pleasure, and I would like to congratulate both of you on SMB card. I remember you showing me a demo of this. I think sometime last year when before it went live, and I really appreciated what you were doing because I personally knew a lot of people Uh, who suddenly were thrown into the virtual world because of the pandemic and didn't know how to sell their products. And once I saw your demo and I realized how easy, I think 30-35 minutes, we were able to put up uh, business into the cart. So,
yeah.
congratulations to both of you on this product, and I wish you all success for this product.
thank you. Thanks for
Thank
that.
you, Anne. Thank you, Anne. Thank you. So before getting into the session, you just give a quick intro about, though I gave a quick intro, just 30 seconds or 20 seconds quick intro about yourself. And so that would be much better for the audience to understand from the horse mouth, from your end itself. Yeah.
Sure, my name is Anne and I'm based out of Chennai in Tamil Nadu. I've had about 2 decades of experience, mostly in business development and relationship building. So I think in entirety you might call it sales, but it's a lot of uh, sales is just that last point of transaction. There's a lot of things that builds on to sale happening. So I at least consider myself to be well versed in the processes of how to start from scratch and to end a sale or end a transaction or win a business. And I work with national and international companies. I work with companies like Century Ply and Mahindra Logistics in India, from India, and companies like Sunrise, Steelcase, and Frost and Sullivan, which are based out of Europe and US. So I've been exposed to various kind of working culture across a lot of products that I've sold. I've sold products like concepts to consultancy, to chairs and tables and plywood, um, across geographies like Africa or Europe or Southeast Asia, India, etc. So thank you for having me here. I look forward to share some of my limited knowledge and expertise with your viewers and hope that it helps them. And I'll welcome any sort of questions or doubts that your viewers have. And if I can help them in any way, I would love to do that as well.
So fantastic.
Great, and uh, happy to have you with such a lot of experience.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much, Vijay. Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
And to start off, the first thing would be like, as the how do you start an initiation for sale? Either it can be a small business or a bigger business. Let it be a product or a service. How do you take that first step? Because many people struggle at it. They think that customers will come to them. In fact, we need to go to the customers, right?
So in sales, we use this two terminology called hunting and farming. Okay,
Okay.
uh, farming is where you already have something and you build it up. Like you have land and you put your seed and you grow the seed. Okay, hunting is where you have nothing. You search for a target, go find the target, and then catch hold of the target. So any business, be it big or small, depending on the state of business that you are in, you either need to go farm or hunt, and at certain point you need to do both, because you need to keep acquiring new customers. At the same time, you need to have a relationship and build a relationship with existing customer. So depending on what stage your business is, let's say we are starting from scratch. It is very important for you to know how you're going to place your product. Why do you have a product? Who will buy your product? Why is your product attractive to a customer? Why would he or she choose your product as compared to somebody else's product? So you need to have your positioning right. I think Arun spoke about it a lot in his branding session with you in your previous session. So once you know what your product is going to be, or who the target audience is going to be, or what is that in your product that is going to sell, then you start working on that. Then you create your sales pitch. Oh, sorry. Second, you need to identify who your target is going to be. Whom are you going to sell? You're going to sell to gender specific. You're going to sell to age specific. You're going to sell to geographical specific. So once you identify who is going to be your buyer, then you decide on your communication or your sales pitch. What is it that you can put across to the other person to make them realize that your solution is the solution to his problem, and nothing else fits better than what you have to offer? And that is when somebody buys, right? We always pick what's best for us. Sometimes we are ready to pay a little premium, sometimes we are ready to bargain for it, sometimes we are ready to wait for it. But then once you know what is right for you, you only want that. So as a salesperson, it's your job to let the customer know that the solution that you're offering is the perfect solution. He or she cannot get a better one, or nothing is a better fit. Once you're able to communicate that, then you have your customer in hand. And once you get your customer in hand, then it's all about servicing them, be it giving a good product, be it giving a good service, good feedback from taking their feedback, working on it, solving their problems, any customer query related questions. Then you have them for life. So it's a basic thing that never stops. It never stops with the sale of a particular thing. It's an ongoing business. And obviously, depending on the product, the life cycle of the entire cycle is either a small one or a long one, depending on what product you're selling.
Yeah, fantastic, Anne. Anne, so here comes the question. So what you have mentioned, right, with respect to any business or anybody, they need to position the product right, and they need to know who is their target audience. So that's a very valid point. But personally, we feel that any entrepreneur or any business owner, okay, he or she should be a good salesperson, because they are the first salesperson of their company. Okay, though they innovate the product, they can't always rely on some third party people to sell their product. In few cases it happens, but not in the most of the cases. Okay, so what do you feel? Okay, sales is very important. What is that salesman spirit one should have as an entrepreneur? Because most of the product fail because they are unable to sell the product. in the market. Okay, so what kind of a mindset or the spirit one should have as a salesperson, as an entrepreneur or the founder? I'm just speaking. Okay, so according to you, how you define or what kind of mindset you suggest people?
Yeah. So as an entrepreneur, the first thing is to sell the idea, not the product, but to sell the idea that you have. Let's say one of you came up with the idea of SMB card. You had to actually sell that idea to the other one, right? Or to
Yeah,
the team that was working for you, or the guy who was making the whole background solution for you. So, how do you pass on what is your vision, what is your dream to the other person to execute it? So, that is your first step of sales as any entrepreneur.
okay,
Because you have a dream, you have a vision. How do you
yeah,
pass on that vision? How do you bring everybody onto the same page?
yeah,
So it's so one of the best things, at least the best thing I believe you can do is to collect as much knowledge about it as possible. Let's say you and I are sitting and talking about development of SMB card. Okay, so you have to tell me, see, these are the number of people who are actually struggling to get into the virtual world. This is the number of hours somebody is spending trying to be here. This is the problems they are facing trying to put up an online business. You
yeah,
shoot me with those numbers, you tell me the numbers, you tell me this is the problem that people are having, you probably show me figures, and then I'm sold, right? Then I
yeah,
see the opportunity that you see.
yeah,
Right, there is an opportunity for such a product because people need it. It is a problem that a lot of people are facing, and this is a solution to that problem, and it will sell. Once you
yeah,
sell that idea to me, then we work together towards selling it to the customer. So the first thing is to share your passion, to be able to share your vision and passion to the people who are around you first. The
Okay.
internal customers, as you call it. See,
yeah,
every person working in your company with you is your internal customer, because you have to sell that idea, the passion, the interest, the vision to them, right? So that
yeah,
is the first part. So that is, and then there is the fact that in spite of all this, you tell me and come back and I'll say, "Arey, Hari, there are so many people doing this." You
yeah,
know, you cannot get demotivated by it. There is this story that says there were a lot of frogs trying to jump out of the well, and everybody kept saying, "Oh, it's too high, come down, come down, come down." Most of them stopped. One guy kept jumping and he made it, and then they realized later that he couldn't hear, so he didn't know when people said come down, come down, he kept moving up. So it's
yeah,
like that. There are certain times you need to be deaf.
yeah,
When the customer says no, when your partner says no, when the people working with you say no, you need to be deaf, and then believe that yes, you can still go on. See, there's a difference between being pushy and being deaf. Okay, I'm not saying that even there's a proper no, you should still push. I'm saying when people try to do demotivate you, you have to have it in yourself to again, not hear those negative things and push on with what your idea is. It is true of a product selling to a customer, it's true of selling an idea to your internal customer as well. So as an
yeah.
entrepreneur, a, communicating your vision to the other person, and b, not being demotivated by the naysayers or the people who want to put you down are the two most important things.
So these
Yeah,
two
you have to.
areas you mentioned, and the third is going to be the actual customers. Okay. So
Yeah.
what is an mindset they need to have when they approach a customer?
Okay.
As
See,
a
the
sales
first,
person, consider, okay, it works in two ways. And number one, being an entrepreneur, we ourselves are an salesperson. That is one. And number two, consider I am hiring a salesperson within my team, okay, to make sure the sales happen for my company or for my product or a service. Okay, there should be a kind of inputs that should translate from the entrepreneur to the salesperson, so that the sale can be happen better way, or that salesperson can reach out to the customers and make sure that sale happen. Okay, so I'm asking about that mindset or the flow or the process once one should follow.
all right. See, every time that you make a sale, As a salesperson, there was one thing that was very important to me, that is my faith and my trust in the product that I was trying to sell. See,
Okay.
when you think that your product is not really up to the mark or not really, there, uh, your conviction is lacking. Then how do you convince the other person?
Yeah.
So as a boss or as a leader, when you're trying to push your salesperson to go to sell something, I think first thing is you have to equip him or her with adequate training and the belief that this product definitely is a solution that can make the customer's life easier. So when your salesperson is going to a customer with that conviction, there are
Okay.
100% chances that he will convert the business. Because
Okay.
unless you are convinced yourself, it is very difficult to convince somebody else. So
Okay.
that would be point number one. And the second point is, always look at a no as a challenge, right? Listen to why the customer is saying no. So if I'm your customer, I might be saying no to you now because I am not concentrating on the virtual world. Okay, I might be saying no because I am not comfortable in a digital world. I am not comfortable on Facebook or WhatsApp or something. So I'm not yet there. So it's for the salesperson to understand why the customer is saying no, and then once he gets that, can we solve it in some way? So is handling Facebook page your what is troubling you? Can we train you? Can we spend an hour with you to let you know how to work on Facebook, so then working on SMB card becomes easy for you?
Yeah.
So it's not like if they have to sell, let's say, a pen, you sell only a pen, you talk about other things, na? You talk
Yeah.
about how it will improve the handwriting. You talk about how the words are permanently etched and you don't have to worry about them getting rubbed off like in case of a pencil. So you talk about a lot more. You build a story which is a lot more than just selling a pen. So
Yeah.
that is
Yeah.
that is
Fantastic.
how the salesperson should look at your product, and that is how he has to sell it to the customer.
Okay.
That's a great
Fantastic.
example, and actually, there's always a lot of thing on internet. How do you sell a pen? At least they can get some answer out of it from the Wolf of Wall Street thing. Yeah, and just adding to this question, one thing like Hari was asking about the spirit, right? It's about how we call it the sportsmanship spirit. You lose and again you go fight back to win. So we also call it as salesman's spirit. Because you get to hear a lot of no than yes in general. Okay, and when you hear the no, many people get stuck there. You know, how do you move to the next step? Should I continue speaking to the person or not? You know, what is the technique or what is the turnaround that a person can adapt? That even after hearing, what kind of question even he can shoot to that customer, irrespective of whether he sells it or not. It should not be a blank page in front of him.
Agreed.
That generally happens.
I understand. See, this happens when a person takes the rejection personally. See, the customer is not saying no to Anne or Kunda or Hari.
Yeah.
The customer is saying no to the pen for now. So that is the first thing. See, once you think the rejection is personal, now then you get rejected. Then you're like, oh, this guy doesn't like me. That's why he doesn't want a card.
Mm.
See, on a transaction, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you don't like a salesperson. If you want the product, you want the product, right? So first thing, when they are saying no, it's not no to you. Never take it personal. It is no to that product at that point in time. So you continue your conversation. He says, "Sir, can I know what is it that is stopping you from, uh, picking up this product now? Is it something to do with the product? Is it something to do with the timing, or is it something to do with your company policy?" So there are questions that you need to ask. But for that, the first thing has to be, you cannot be dejected. You cannot take no personally. Yeah, it is not to you as a salesperson. It is only to the product. You might be having the wrong solution. You might be there at the wrong time, or they have not really understood what your product was. So I think a little more conversation, deep into it. Yes, sir. Okay, you don't want to buy this pen now. I'm fine with it. Let's keep it aside. Now, can you tell us what your problem is exactly? So, if not a pen, maybe next time I can come back with a pencil because you want something that can be rubbed and written all over again. You know, you need the other person, the customer, to understand that you're listening to them. You've seen the some salesperson who come and like they don't even want to listen to you. You might tell him, I have the same product, but sir, take this. This is 50% discount today. Please pick it up. Or if I have it at home, even if you give me for free, I don't want. You're going to take up my space, right? So what mistake a lot of salespeople do is they don't listen, and it's very important to listen to understand what the customer is trying to tell you. And then it's once you get a hang of what he actually wants or what his actual problem is. Maybe he doesn't want to buy it now, maybe his business grows a little more, that is when he wants to focus on going online. So you say, all right sir, it's fine, I understand you're not in a position to take this now. Let me get back to you after 2 months, 3 months. In the meantime, can I help you with anything else?
Mm.
This serves two purpose. A, it makes you feel, makes the customer feel that you're empathetic towards him, that you really want what is good for him. B, you might even get your idea for your next product. You never
Yeah,
know where there is a product hiding,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Each problem is a product that is made to be waiting to be made. So these are the, I think that's the way to go.
yeah. Actually, two things that you pointed out exactly is that empathy is the key important factor for any sales or any business person or any person in the business or whoever is selling the product, irrespective of whoever it is,
Yes.
rather than just being a salesperson or
Pushy
whatever.
salesperson,
Empathy, yeah,
yeah.
empathy is the key factor. And as you rightly said, yeah, SMB card also came out with the insight from the customer, where we have built something for a customer, and then there from there we have turned it into a product. We thought, okay, yeah, there is a need for B2B especially, and small and medium business manufacturers, and home sale, uh, and for the many ladies who are selling many stuff from home,
Home
actually,
entrepreneurs, yes.
home entrepreneurs. And that is where
Yes.
actually we got the idea. Right? We solve it for a customer, and then from there we develop it, as you rightly said. Yeah. And I have one thing, and especially for sales, you sold both in product side and also onto the service side. You sold both the things. What is the
Yes.
key difference and how to handle both? Both have different features and functionalities. Basically, selling product is easier, I feel, than service. You know, can you say what are the things to be taken care to sell both of them effectively? The
Right.
sale should happen. That's it. How can
Yes.
you even lock it, irrespective of whether the opposite person wants it or not?
See, the marketing gurus will tell you the difference between want and need and how you should focus on what and all. But uh, I think you asked two questions here. The first one was tangible, product versus service. The difference is simple. When you have a product, it's something tangible, it's something you can show. The customer can feel it, the customer can touch it. If it's a chair you're selling, he can sit on it. He can sit on it for 6 weeks and then tell you he likes it or not, or he likes. There is a color to it. There is, all your senses are utilized when there is a tangible product at hand, right? Whereas in services, it is a promise that you give when you start a service, right? You really don't know. Like if I'm offering a consultancy to a company that wants to come into India and start its business, they I have to sell them my persona, right? There's nothing else to sell at that point. So there was this company that I was trying to help to set up business in India, right? They, but it was zero. There was nothing to start with. So how do I sell myself at that point, right? At that point, I have to sell my experience. I have to sell my knowledge. I have to interact with them in such a way that they get the reassurance that yes, she is the person for the job. She will get it done. So I think when you're selling a product, it is that much easier because the customer can look, feel, touch, and he knows what he's getting. Whereas when you're selling a service, it's just a promise. There is nothing tangible to be sold at that point but yourself, as a person, as a salesperson, or as a marketing development person. In both sides, the only key to selling is the confidence, either in the product or on yourself. I might not have done this before, but let me assure you, I know how it is done. I know what the regulations are in India. I know the people to meet. I know how to go and meet them. I will get it done for you. You will get, at the end of the prescribed time, you will get what has been agreed on. Yeah, the confidence, you're selling that confidence to the client. Same when you're selling a product like a chair. So this, I know your problem is sitting long hours. Ergonomy is important. Your back should be at a particular position. You should be sitting comfortably. I know this chair can do that. This chair can move up and down, front and back. The handles can be moved. This is what you are looking for. This is the answer to your problem. Your confidence in your product that it is the answer to the customer's problem. So in both cases, you're selling a product or you're selling a service, confidence that you can deliver, and the trust in the product, be it a tangible product or be it on your own skill set and experience, is what matters.
So and fantastic, and so adding to the answer, what do you have said? Okay, so okay, product I understand. Product, okay, product and service both require a different kind of an approach in terms of selling or approaching the customer. So here the point is, say when in the market, not every product is innovative or every service is innovative. Okay, so most of the time we end up in presenting to the client with a similar product which is already available in the market. Okay. So from the sales perspective, how actually anyone should tackle when they are selling the similar product which is already available in the market, and also there comes the okay. You answer this, then we'll go to on the pricing and other stuff. Yeah,
Sure. See,
selling a similar product. Yeah,
yeah, so the first
Consider the
step
pricing is
is,
also same. Otherwise,
yeah. Consider, yeah. Okay, yeah.
why not? Yeah, the more challenging the better. So I think the first step is preparation. And by preparation I mean, if you're launching SMB card, you should be well prepared in your knowledge of what are the competing products, right? What are their special features? What makes them different to yours, right? And then once you do a comparative study, two outcomes are possible. One, you can make yourself better, right? And the second one is you get your, what they call the unique selling proposition, the USP of your product, which you need to highlight and push to the client and say, I understand there are n number of products similar to mine, but my product has this special. Now, in the case that there is nothing different, I mean, a chair is a chair is a chair, and there is nothing different between their chair and my chair. What you do is back up and talk about the person behind it. Sir, if you pick up my product, I assure you, you have a problem. Just give me a call and make sure it is serviced, it is repaired, it is exchanged, or whatever. So there again, see, that's why salespeople are important. If it is just the point of going and selling, uh, you could just, if you desperately need something, either uh, let's say there's a medicine, okay, that you desperately need. Nobody needs to sell it. You need the medicine, you will go and pick it up. You don't really need a salesperson there. You need a salesperson when you have 10 of the similar medicine, and then you want the customer to pick up your brand, right? So that is where, so as much as the product is there, the person behind the product, in most cases it's the salesperson, because the customer barely sees who is actually making it or who is actually doing the servicing also. The single point of contact for the customer is the salesperson. That is why businesses now have what is called relationship managers. They have actually kind of nicely put up the sales, moved sales into business development and relationship management, because that is what you do. My competitor can give you the same thing, product that I can give you, but what my competitor cannot give you is my personal assurance that I will be at available for you whenever you're in trouble. I'm just a phone call away. I am there to resolve any issues that are rising out of it, and hence you can trust me with the product. So would you like to have a product which comes with the assurance that there is somebody at the back end to help you with any problem, or would you like prefer to have something which people just want to sell and get away with, so your demeanor, your action, your relationship with the customer should be such that he has that confidence and trust in you that okay, Anne is there, she'll solve it, so let me just buy it from Anne because I know if I'm in trouble, she'll help me out. That is what makes you stand out in a crowd of similar products.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because true, you cannot go and change the product on your own completely, right? Yeah,
Yep.
got it. Uh, any tricks that you have developed or used so far to make sure sale happens?
Uh, see, couple of things like I told you before. I never take rejection personally. I know it is not me that they don't like, or you know something to do with me that is making them not buy the product. They are not buying a product because they don't need it at that time, or it is not the perfect fit for them at that time. This I'm saying after I make all sort of attempts to make sure that this is a perfect fit. Yeah. Second thing, I think most of my own bosses have always kind of blamed me for it. I When I have a client, I am more for the client than for my company. Right. Of course, I make my money, I make my margins, I make my profits. Right. But then in every interaction I make sure that my client gets as good as he can get, right? So be it services, be it pushing for a product to be delivered before time, be it pushing for a service to be added, be it adding that extra element that can be added at no major loss on for either sides. I find all this very instrumental in maintaining a good relationship with the client. Second thing is being available. There are a lot of people. I don't know if you've noticed this. If you have an issue, you call somebody, they'll pick up the first time, they'll pick up the second time, then they'll stop picking up your calls, right? Once somebody does that, then you don't really want to have to do anything with them after your problem is resolved, because you cannot go to anybody else, you have to go to that particular person. So it doesn't matter if you don't have a solution at that particular moment. What is important is that you tell your customer that you are working on it. You don't run away from there. Sometimes you get, there have been instances where people have told me, and if you were not a lady, I would have given you so much galis. Okay. Then I'm like, okay, sir, I understand, but even if it was somebody else, there was no way this could have got solved. So I'm working on it. You give me some time, maybe 1 week, maybe 10 days, maybe a month. It might not be a time frame that the customer likes. He would have wanted the problem to be resolved yesterday. But if it's not possible for you to do it in, let's say, 2 days' time, and you need a week, you tell them straight off you need a week. And always be there to answer their queries. Never run away from don't not picking up the call or not being available, or and another thing, blaming it on somebody else. Sir, my service guy didn't come, sir. That is not the way. He is trust you as a salesperson and bought stuff from you. So if you want to give some kind of, if something is wrong, you take the responsibility for it. And I've realized it through my entire 2 decades of experience that they might be upset with you at that point for not giving an immediate solution, but over time they'll come to realize ki if this person commits to a date, even if it is 5 days away or 10 days away, it gets done. That's how you build up the trust. That is how you build up, and then you say, okay, let's next time let's just buy from Anne. I know there is trouble with her products, but she's always there to take care of it. There's so much more that you add to the product as a person, as a salesperson. And then like you said, even though all the products are similar, even though they are all alike, their features are all alike, the differentiation factor will be you, the salesperson. and the point of contact, you know. So that is a couple of things that I really trust in, that think that you are on the customer side always, not that they are on the other side. Be uh, be painfully frank with them, even if it means that they might be upset at you. But if it cannot get done, please say that it cannot get done, and stick to your commitments. Just to please the other person, don't say, sir, 2 दिन में हो जाएगा, we'll do it in 2 days, we just need a couple of hours. Say this needs 5 days, this needs 10 days. A part has to come from another place. The person who works on this is not available, so it will take so much time. But mark my word, before the end of that day, it will be done. And when it is done, then the customer knows, okay, this is a person you can trust, and that's what they want. You know, it doesn't matter to them if they are paying you 20 rupees extra and getting another product which is 20 rupees less. What they want is, in the long term, if there is a difficulty, they have a support for it.
Okay,
Fantastic, and
great.
yeah. So getting on to the extension of what we have discussed. Okay. So our major focus right now had majorly on how to sell a product to a specific customer. Okay. So how that can be done, what kind of mindset a salesperson should have, and what and all you did also. You have shared a fantastic pointers. Okay. So there are a lot of, let it be B2B or B2C businesses. Okay, most of them want the corporate customers on the with them. Okay, so how different acquiring a corporate customer, and also how they need to even approach in the acquisition process a corporate customers. Okay, and also we feel that it is very important after the acquisition that retention of any customer is good, that helps any businesses to grow. Okay, so you can throw light on those areas actually. So how any majorly the pointer should be helpful for the small and medium businesses. Okay, say consider if I'm selling some so I'm the manufacturer of, consider tissues as an example, I'm just tissue papers or an office products, consider. Okay, so though they are selling B2C, but still B2B, okay, corporate customer can be in one huge lot, they can serve on regular basis. Okay, so from that perspective I'm asking. Okay, so what they should do actually to acquire them and also to retain them.
I mean, right from the cold lead aspect, consider it it's a cold lead.
Okay. So, the first point is to find out who could be the people you could approach, right? So, let's say a product like a tissue, I think every corporate uses. So, I think everybody is a potential
So you
customer
can
in
take
that
any other
case.
example also. That's what tissue is one what I have thought, which is
Okay.
very
Let's say handmade gifts. Okay,
okay.
because we're
Yeah.
talking about home entrepreneurs and people like that. So let's say some sort of handmade gifts that can be
Yeah.
given out. Uh, nowadays every occasion all the employees get either a welcome gift or a Diwali gift or a New Year gift or something like that. And a lot of people start with their skills. Maybe I have a friend who does yarning and creates product with yarns. Or I know people who make, let's say, homemade cakes or homemade cookies, and you have cookie hampers that you send out to people. There are people who make gift hampers. They collect a lot of things and put it together in a gift hamper. So, see, it's how does somebody get into being an entrepreneur? It is a confidence that they can deliver something, right? A product, a cake, a hamper, or anything of that sort. And it is but natural for a human being to always want to aim higher. And in a home entrepreneur's life, I think getting a big corporate business is something that is very attractive to them. Okay, but the thing is, always move step by step. You could have been selling, let's say, 10 cakes in a week. It just doesn't make sense for you to go to a customer and offer to sell 2000 cakes in a week. You just cannot scale from 10 to 2000 in a week. It takes a lot of input, a lot of physical work. Your raw materials will be higher. You need more equipments to do whatever needs to be done. So always aim at scalable growth, right? If you have been doing 10, let's first catch a customer that wants 25, because you can sell 25 pieces to them. That is something you can do. And once you keep going with them, the next time you go and hold a customer that needs 50 pieces or 100 pieces. And that's how you plan the growth. You never jump from, nothing goes from 0 to 100 except those fancy cars, right? It has to go one by one. So that is a big thing. Never overcommit. What people tend to do is, in their desire to win big businesses, people tend to overcommit. Okay, that's one of the major mistakes that home entrepreneurs do. They take up a big order and then they realize they either don't have the manpower to do it, or they don't have the space to do it, or they don't have the resources to do it, or it is just not possible to make such a big order in such a limited time. So always know your capability and know how far you can push yourself, and only commit what you can provide at that moment. Growth has to come incremental. Never jumping is never an option here, because you lose face once, nobody is going to give you a second chance. There are hundreds of people doing the same thing that you are doing. So unless you are able to make a wonderful impression at your first chance, there is no way you will get a second chance at the same place. So know what you want to give, know your capability, never overcommit, stick to what you have, and don't underprice yourself. This is something I really want to tell home entrepreneurs. They get into business because their friends and relatives say, "Are you're so good at it? Get into the business." And today it's very easy to get start up a business, right? You just start a Facebook page or you start a WhatsApp group and you're in business, right? But then when it comes to a big corporate, and you will say, "Okay, I somehow need this order, and let me underprice myself." When you underprice yourself, A, you will never be able to give quality products. B, you will never find the satisfaction of having done all this effort, because there is no result in it. You will probably paying from your own pocket, right? And C, you have to show the customer that your product is of value. And if they are paying a premium for it, it is because you're putting a premium into it. It's not for nothing. So, getting a corporate client, that is the things that as a home entrepreneur they should take care. Uh, then the process of acquiring a corporate client. Uh, First thing is to a good option would be to give a sample to a concerned department. So if it's, let's say, the admin that is like taking a decision on your product to buy, send them some samples. Tell them this is what it is. It would be a very good idea if you have a website or some kind of an address that you can show to them. Please visit my Facebook page or Insta page, so you know what I'm capable of. Third thing, customer review feedback. If you make sure you always take feedback from your customer in writing and have their permission, and put it up in your Facebook page or Insta page or any page that you have, so that they speak for you. Sometimes you need more than one voice to speak for you, just your voice doesn't do. So these feedbacks, these testimonies that your client gives, put it up and say, "See, I've always got good client." And sometimes be honest. "I can only do so much. Let me start with this. You give me only half the business for now. You can give half the business to somebody else, and I can scale up later." So these are the few things I think people should go. So if I would, let's say, want to sell a gift product, let's say for Women's Day, to a corporate, I would approach a corporate cold lead, find out who the concerned person is, call, fix up an appointment. It always gives a lot of value to your interaction if you have an appointment, because you have not just wandered into the office or just walked into the office. You have respected the other person's time, you've asked them for an appointment, and you show up at the fixed time for an appointment. You tell them this is what I have to offer, this is how my product is going to be, this is what you can do, and this will be a wonderful gift to give all your women employees on Women's Day. Please take these samples. There are 10 samples here. You hand it over to 10 people and let me have a feedback. I think at least 70-80% of the time, if your product is good and the samples have gone out to the right audience, you might be called back later and an order would be given. So I think that's the way to go in case you want to move into a corporate sort of environment from a small scale or a home entrepreneurship angle.
Okay.
Okay, that's nice. If it is
Fantastic, Anne.
a service,
It's a very good explanation what you have given. So you just mentioned about the till the sales part, okay, and how they should retain once they acquired.
So
Retention part,
I think that I spoke so much in
yeah,
detail when I
before,
spoke about how you should
yeah,
build the trust, right?
yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
the, See, depending on
uh,
some products are once in a lifetime products, some products need to be replaced at frequent intervals. So depending on that, your interaction with the with your customers. So once the sale is done, you can
yeah,
still have touch points, right? You can
yeah,
send them. Let's say there is an article, something concerning your product. So just
okay,
send, hello, Mr. So and so. I was reading this and I thought this would be something you might be interested in reading, so I'm sending you the link. So you're keeping in touch. You're not selling them anything at that point. It's nothing to do
okay,
with your product, but it is you trying to be on top of his mind, right?
okay,
That we are here to solve any of your problems, or we are here the next time you want to buy something. So every interaction does not need to be transactional. A few interactions can be
yeah,
just that. Yes, I was crossing by. I will be in your area tomorrow. Would you have time for a cup of coffee? That's all. Just drink a cup of coffee and come back. So uh, the idea is to be available when they want, be the problem solver, and always be on top of their mind. That's how you retain these customers. And I think Kunda was asking about service. I heard your question, so I'm
yeah,
not spilling that.
that's fine.
See, it's the same with respect to service to a corporate too. See, when we talk about service to corporate, I don't think there is a lot of home entrepreneurs who can provide services. It'll be more like a medium business
Yeah, medium business.
that would go into that. Then again, I will tell you, do never overpromise or overcommit, and never underprice yourself to win, because in both cases you will not be able to deliver what you have promised, and the customer will never be satisfied, and you will lose that one chance at making your impression. So
yeah,
if that is all you can do, be very clear about that is all you can do. You ask for a share of the pie. A lot of businesses are runs on multiple vendors, right? You don't have a single vendor uh, for a product. You have,
Everything.
you
Yeah.
take it anything, even tissue or drinking water, transportation, canteen services. There are multiple vendors. So you aim to start with being one of them, and then you can increase your share of the pie as you grow. So never go with that, I want the 100% business. It might not be a very smart thing to do, especially if there is an existing vendor who is actually servicing a lot. What to do is to offer, give me a piece of the pie, let me service that part, and see how you find our service vis-a-vis your existing vendor. You might get it, and a lot of people will be open to it as well.
Yeah,
So that is what I would suggest in case of a service that you need to provide.
and that's rightly said. Actually, yeah, we ourselves have experienced it as a part of other business of running ad agency.
Yes, this is all from first-hand experience.
yeah.
Been there, done that.
So
Yeah,
yeah, so
being part of a
even
corporate.
one of our client have said, so you guys are like a camel. First you shown yourself your head inside the tent, okay, and later you moved everybody inside the tent and you sat in the middle, okay.
I've
So
had I've had a client once tell me, "Shall I put up an office space for you in this office because you seem to be here more than in your own office?" I said, "If that is what you want, I'm ready. You can even put me on your payroll. I'm ready for that." So yes,
yeah,
that's how you build up the relationship.
That's
so
See,
what
we are not
fantastic.
I told.
doing charity here, okay?
Yeah,
We are
yeah,
at the
yeah,
end of the day selling a product. The customer is
yeah,
going to pay for it. We are going to
yeah,
make money out of it, profits out of it. But
yeah,
let's do it in such a way that everybody is benefited.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's when the equilibrium is there. That's when everybody is happy and things keep moving smoothly.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and
Any
fantastic.
tools and technologies, and that you would suggest for the new age sales, apart from the
Okay.
personal relationships or anything?
Okay, this I am not very technically oriented, so I cannot commit. But of course, there is products like Salesforce and other things that people use on a corporate sales way. But for an entrepreneur, a home-based entrepreneur, I would suggest uh, keep your eye on the market. Know what the trends are, right? Know who the players are. Read the reviews of other people's services and products, because that is where you will know if you can place your products there. If somebody has spoken about certain thing lacking, then you know how to project yourself there. So eye on the market is a very important thing. You just cannot sit comfortable in your seat and saying my product is amazing. See, you are in love with your product, it's your baby, it's but natural that you are in love with it. Uh, but other people could see it other way, so it's always very important to get their feedback. And again, do not take criticism to heart. It's just the way to make yourself better or your product better, right? So yeah, keeping an eye on your market, continuously improving your product, listening to feedback of all your customers, because that's the way to improve yourself, and to let them know that you are hearing, because everybody talks. They need people who can listen. So yeah, these are the 3 points I would say. But technologically, use all that is at your disposal. Yeah, today it's not difficult
Yeah,
to
that's fine.
create a Insta page or a FB page or a WhatsApp group. There are datas available for sale in case you want to buy. Use everything that you can to your limit, or to whatever, how much ever you want to pay or use.
Yeah.
So
You
fantastic,
want to
Anne.
recommend any books or anything that people can read to get more idea?
Uh,
Any particular, any suggestions, or first hand
uh,
experience is the best experience?
so
Get
I
bashed and then develop.
See, I recently did a course on design thinking. Okay,
Okay.
design thinking is not rocket science. It's just a
Yeah.
way to make better decisions faster, and be more effective in what you do. Right. I seriously suggest people to go through design thinking videos, or free classes online, or read up about it, because it will change the way you think, and that is what you need. It's we especially, like, for a person like me, I've been in the business for more than 20 years. I sometimes am very rigid. I am like, this is the way it works. you know but it's always helpful to have other perspective, to know that uh, there are better ways of doing things. We always open to learning. I remember when we all got together. I think I'm about a decade older than you people, and we still were sitting in the same classroom, right, and doing the same course. So be open to learning all the time. Not everybody, I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not able to mention books right now,
No
but
problem.
but be open. That's all I'll say. It doesn't
From where
matter.
did you do the design course? Design thinking?
At IIM Kozhikode.
Okay, worth. But yeah, good that actually you mentioned it. I mean, many people aren't aware that design thinking is a
Yeah, so
adaptation that they have to make.
thinking has
Yeah.
something to do with designing and product designing and stuff. It's about designing your thought, the way you think, and you act. And the funny premise that you make as many mistakes and as fast as you can so that you reach the right answer, earlier. So make smaller mistakes earlier in a product life cycle so that you waste lesser time. Imagine building up a whole big product, and when you put it in a market research, you know that there's a fundamental flaw in it, right? You
Yeah.
don't want to know if there's some flaw in your product. You want to know it very early. So it's an amazing way of thought. It's not rocket science. It's not something that came down from heaven last year. It has been there, but to put it in perspective is a really wonderful thing. So I think every salesperson should you know consider that.
No, true. I mean, there's a lot of thing going on design thinking. You actually good that you brought it onto the table today. Many people aren't aware that there is a process to take decisions.
Yes.
Yeah, cool. And
Yes, sir. Sure, and yeah. So we came to the end of the session. Okay. So yeah, Konda, you want to just
yeah,
conclude it?
one thing
Yeah.
I would like to summarize the whole thing into one nutshell. And I mean, you give very good insights in terms of like the definitely. I feel that audience must have understood what are the things to have as a salesperson or a business development person or relationship manager. First of all, to start off or kick off their sales with any client, get the client and also retain it. Which is the whole process. Okay. And the first thing I would appreciate in your talk today is like you have boosted up the confidence for sure. I can say for the people, small and medium business people or the home based entrepreneurs to how to go about it and not to
Because
take
people always
rejection
afraid
as,
of selling, and yeah,
yeah,
so you made it simple.
personal.
Yeah.
They take it really personal when they get rejected in terms of sales. It's very good pointer that don't take it personal. I think that is a insight, I can say. It's an idea that has been given to the viewers that where they know, okay, where to put it now exactly. And then they can again go forward rather than sitting idle and then thinking, oh, something has gone wrong. Is And they become skeptical about themselves and also the product or the services, though they're doing good at it. And that's a key point where many people miss it. And I think that will be really taken up by many people. And also, yeah, design thinking, that's simple one but very effective one. Definitely people should look into the design thinking aspect. Yeah. And that's it. And thanks for being there, Anne. And
Thanks for
at the
having
end
me.
of the session, yeah, we want to see you grow leaps and bounds with your new ventures and consulting going on. And actually, we have some offer for our viewers at SMB Card. As Hari gave an intro, it's about setting up your online store in 30 minutes. That's it. And you're up and running, you can start your sales. That is the simplicity of SMB Card. The idea came out of the word called convenience. You know, Everything we want convenient or convenience with each and every service or product these days, right? So what we are providing here is convenience. There are definitely players in the market, but the convenience is like how easily you can do it by yourself. Small and medium business cannot hire each and every person to do things for them. They want to quickly do it on the go. So it is the convenience that is being provided by the SM because they can update photos or anything by their own. They need not even see your faces first of all. After sales is done, they're happy to go. So the offer we have is something called code SK30, where they get 30% off as being part of the viewers of this session. That's it. And if you want to say something, you can say Anne before we close the
Yeah,
session.
I recommend all of you to at least try logging into SMB Cart once, because I'm sure there is at least one person in your social circle that will need something like this, and it'll be nice for you to be able to recommend them and make their life simpler. Log in once, go through the process once, and you'll know how it can make the life of your loved ones or friend or whoever it is who will get into this and need it easier. I have done it, so I'm telling you.
Thank you,
Yeah,
and thanks
thank
for
you.
your fantastic sales pitch.
I had to give one, right?
I mean,
Yeah,
we did not expect, but yeah, actually, definitely it will help us.
yeah,
We want them to do, though we will not ask.
yeah,
Ask,
sure.
yeah. Ask and you will get.
Uh,
Sure.
If
yeah.
you don't, you won't.
Yeah,
Okay.
fantastic, and
Then
thanks a
we'll
lot.
start asking.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
thanks a
Yeah.
lot for the
Thanks
time. Yeah,
and
Take
thanks
care,
for the
both
time.
of
And
you. Bye
thank you.
bye.
thanks. Take care. Bye.